Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the definitive level 9 CPU tournament, and today we are in the first half of top 16 winners side, and we've got a lot of really awesome matchups to get through both today and next week. Starting off, we have seed number 33, Villager, putting in some work against seed number 17, Robin. Robin finally getting his first hit in there of the entire match, but Villager is already sending a very compelling message. Robin's 11 sword has expired. We've got it on recharge now, and Villager really trying to keep up that pace that he led into this game with. Now, Smashville is a really awesome place for Villager to start off in because it gives him a little bit more resources to have real control of the stage, and we just saw him get masterful execution there with the stage spike off that right-hand side to take the early lead here. He's going to try and keep his distance, and he's doing very well with that, throwing out those forward airs and back airs to get additional damage here. That up air from Robin not going to take that stock with that 11 sword this time around, but next time it very well might. Villager fully charging that up smash and committing to it, finally gets the payoff from it as well as Robin retreats down onto that platform. Any strong strike from Robin is going to be enough. He heals back a bit of that damage with the Nosferatu there, and gets out of the grab by using that Lloyd Rocket. The onstage down air spike doesn't get the kill there, unfortunately for Robin. And that rapid jab is definitely going to do it. And we're going to see Villager take the star KO as he sends his way off there. That up smash again on that platform, doing a lot of great work for Villager, and he is really holding his own against a very scary competitor, all things considered. The down air hits, but he doesn't get the sweet spot nor the stage spike off of it, so certainly some more room to improve on there in terms of continuing that lead, but the back air is going to do it from basically a point-blank range. And we have Robin initially getting that forward tilt with that 11 sword off of the restock, which is definitely something he needs because he's got a whole stock he needs to make back up from this Villager. And both combatants really doing a lot of offstage pressure there on that left-hand side. Robin's going to air dodge, make it back to that ledge, and we have the down air on stage coming out from Villager. He hasn't had a chance to set up that tree at all this set, and he just barely manages to do so with that watering can on the outermost ledge. The 11 sword coming out there again for Robin. That tree's going to expire off that left-hand side any moment now, and it did as it was out of render frame. That could have been a really strong option for Villager if he would have opted for the axe while that tree is active. It hits very hard, though again we haven't seen him really use that in this tournament at all, let alone in this set here. We have the clanking forward air pebble getting rid of the arc fire coming out there, and Robin finally taking that second stock with a forward smash, but he is in a really rough position here and ends up detonating that Lloyd Rocket and dealing more damage to himself than to his opponent there. Up smash misses as Villager had the invincibility frames from the get-up. 11 sword is now on cooldown. Again, we've got the rapid jab coming out, and that forward air, again at point-blank range, is going to give Villager the advantage here. That is an absolutely astounding display from Villager, despite being the lower seed in this tournament. We're going to have to see if he can keep up that pressure, or if Robin is going to be able to turn things around in the next game. Northern Cave is the scene that we are setting for Game 2. An excellent counter pick from Robin, having a couple of additional options where he can run away from his opponent. We've got Villager who has pocketed that arc fire, and that is not good for Robin because that is a move that you can get caught up in a lot and get a lot of damage dealt on it. And we do see that arc fire getting used against Robin successfully there. Villager going for the down air. He doesn't connect on it, but he had high enough of a recovery to make his way back. That Thoron is going to come out. It does not connect, but he's got to be careful with that because of Villager's pocket ability. You do not want Thoron being used against you where you can avoid it. Robin definitely doing a much better job at keeping things closer in this game too. And that Levin Sword is again on cooldown. He rolls around that Lloyd Rocket here. And Robin is really having some trouble dealing with these spacing tools that Villager has. He parries the down smash and retaliates with the forward smash of his own, or a down smash of his own, actually picks up the kill there, which is certainly what Robin needed to turn the tide of this matchup. Villager making his way up from the bottom blast zone there, definitely needs that. Gets the neutral air to Lloyd Rocket combo there. Actually, really nice thing for him to get, all things considered. And Robin with the absolute snipe over the top of that tree, landing the arc fire over the top end of it. That was masterful aim for getting around that wall that Villager's capable of putting up there. We've got these combatants running back and forth across this stage. Robin with that forward air and the Levin Sword coming out to do some more benefit for him. And Villager really needs to find an option to end this first stock for Robin, get a little bit more on some equal footing. But he's not going to have a chance to do so as Robin connects with that forward air and the Levin Sword. And he now has a 2-stock victory, or a 2-stock lead, and is at max rage. That forward smash not landing for Villager, that is really unfortunate for him. And we've got that forward air coming out. It's not going to be enough. Robin going for that stage spike and that down air spike, as well as a spike with the up B there, the arc, whatever it was. Didn't get anything from it. Villager is going to pick up a kill with that arc fire, though, out of the pocket, as it is a little bit stronger once it's been used, and at that high of a percent, assuming that you don't get trapped in that move, you're going to have a much easier time there. And Villager is barely going to make it back from the bottom side of that stage. His recovery is really versatile. It all depended on whether or not that move was able to take out those balloons, and Thoron lands through the tree, giving Robin a decisive 2-stock victory in this second match, and we will be headed to a Game 3, where we'll see if Robin can keep up the tempo, or if Villager can recompose himself on his own counterpick stage. Right, Villager opting for Kalos Pokemon League, which is practically identical to Northern Cave, so maybe he just wanted something that he couldn't get trapped under, just to keep himself absolutely safe where possible, and we'll have to see if that plays out in his favor here. Down tilt there from Villager coming out, and he's doing a really good job at getting the arc fire pockets here. It's astounding how well that has worked for him over the course of this fight. Now, Villager looking to extend this percent lead, potentially pick up a stock if he can. And he gets that sapling planted and gets the shield on the initial contact from the arc fire, but does end up getting caught up in a bit more of it, which is unfortunate for him. Arc fire coming out there, and we do have the miss off of that. I think we saw one of the tomes go around. And Robin with a masterful use of the Thoron there to pick up that kill off stage. And Villager in trouble here. Is he going to make it back? No, he is very, very lucky to have made it back from that. That was an absolutely devastating display of multiple up B punishes from Robin there. That could have been very, very bad for Villager to lose a second stock that early on, which you know was Robin's objective there. He gets the up smash. It's not going to be enough to pick up that kill just yet. We've got the sapling that's right there in the middle of the stage. Villager is going to try and set that up into a full tree. Not going to get an opportunity to do so, as I think he's discovered that Robin has tools in his kit to get away from that. And we finally see Villager picking up a kill to even out the stock counter, but he is a full 60% behind and really needs to try and rally back. He's not going to be able to do so initially off there as he gets hard punished and sent into that left-hand blast zone, but still able to make it back on that stock. Goes for the fully charged down smash, doesn't get anything from it, but he pockets the arc fire again, which definitely not something that Robin likes to have to deal with here. He gets the roll around the tree, didn't honestly know that that was something that he could do, and gets the neutral air on that ledge, and Villager really looking like he's in a bit of a rough spot here. He used that arc fire that he had pocketed, gets the down smash, but he doesn't get the berry from it. And Robin coming in with the back air to take that stock lead again. Villager running through that arc fire on the restock and misses the up smash. That would have been really good for getting additional damage onto his opponent here. Gets the up air connection and really looking to finalize things where he can. That Levin sword is in the pocket of Villager, and he picks up that kill with that back air off towards the left blast zone. That Thoron is charged and ready to go, so Villager has to watch out for that, though he can pocket it and cause a lot of problems for Robin if he does manage to grab it. He misses it, though, just as that is being sent out. And we're going to see that Thoron potentially come out here again. 2 forward smashes back-to-back from Robin. He's doing his best to keep things as close as possible. And that Lloyd Rocket really causing problems for Robin. And Villager needed to get back into a rhythm of causing those types of issues for his adversary here. Gets the down air on the ledge, but doesn't get a sweet spot on it. And Villager getting caught by the back end of that Thoron. We are about even percent-wise, but Robin is not going to entertain this any longer. He gets the down smash. He picks up the win. He's going to progress to our top 8 winner side, and Villager will be back in a couple of weeks when we take a look at the losers side top 16. And this is going to be very interesting as to how he rallies back, because he has been a phenomenal competitor up until this point. But let's move on to our next matchup, where we're going to watch the bracket buster of the tournament face off against a very capable combatant. Starting off on Pokemon Stadium 2 for this set, we have our number 40 seed Samus against our lowest surviving member of the tournament, seed number 73, Bowser Jr. And I am convinced that Bowser Jr. just decided that he was going to smurf the preliminary rounds, because he has been an absolute terror in the actual brackets here, and that was unanticipated for sure. And Bowser Jr. again putting on a very commanding display here against a higher ranked competitor. Samus getting good use of that charge shot around here. That forward smash on that left-hand platform is going to deal devastating amounts of damage to Samus. She gets the fully charged charge shot to connect with Bowser Jr. It's not going to pick up a kill, though. And Bowser Jr. looking to finish off this stock if he can. That up air not quite going to be the tool he's looking for. Clown Cart not going to land, but that Cannonball will, as Samus falls through that platform at just the wrong time. Samus at max rage and gets the down air spike. Not a good position for Bowser Jr. to be in, but he can rally this back if he lands the proper move, and he wouldn't be at that bad of a deficit if he's able to do so. But he's got to do that quickly, otherwise he's going to fall behind in percent, and he's already up at 55. Now 65 as Samus connects on that forward air. Up air there from Samus. She's playing around that ledge very well. Bowser Jr. finally landing a forward smash, but he has a lot of rallying back to do in order to keep pace with this combatant. And we got the up throw into up air combo from him there. Definitely a great move for him to build up a bit more of that percent. We have the back throw coming out from Samus again, and Samus going for that down air again and picking up that second stock. That is absolutely commanding of a lead that she has built up here. A full stock ahead. Bowser Jr. getting that clown car. That's been a favorite move of his over the course of this tournament as a whole in terms of picking up a kill. It doesn't do so there, but it does get a large amount of percent onto his opponent. The super missile coming out there from Samus, and Bowser Jr. in a little bit of a trickier position there. The Mecha Koopa there ends up saving Samus, I believe, and he doesn't quite get the cannonball to connect, but she rolls around that up smash. That's a little bit of a mishap on Bowser Jr.'s part. Samus up again at a very high percent here. She didn't get a follow-up off of that up throw, which is unfortunate for her. That back air from Bowser Jr. not going to finish things off in the way that he really needed it to there. Samus up at 170%. Back air again coming out from Bowser Jr. Samus is going to make it back to that ledge, however. She gets the Zair a couple of times there to create a little bit more space away from her opponent. And she lands the up smash through that right-hand platform and really puts Bowser Jr. in his place. We'll have to see if our bracket-busting champion can rally back in our game 2, maybe find a stage that he jives a little bit better with. But on to that match to see how this progresses. So Bowser Jr. has opted for Town and Country, a very interesting spot for him to be in. I think he wanted to have a little more platform irregularity to set up and benefit from a bit more. Problem is Samus is also one of those characters that has a lot of projectiles in her kit and a lot more versatility with her projectiles, as Bowser Jr. really only has his Cannonball and his Mecha Koopa. But he does move around the stage considerably faster with that clown cart. And really not finding a lot of punishing options here against this Samus. Starting off, the fork doesn't land. That's a very unfortunate mishap for him. The forward air is going to send Bowser Jr. far off that right-hand side. Samus not chasing him down this time around like we saw her do in that first match. The Mecha Koopa is going to land and give Samus a bit of some more percent there. Whiffs the forward smash, and that clown card just not doing what he needs it to. Up smash coming out there from Samus. She's going to take that first stock and really extend the lead that she's been going for. That charge shot is fully charged, and that super missile covers a little bit of that option. Doesn't end up giving her any coverage or any really good opportunity to use the charge shot. But she does throw it away to create a little bit more of some pressure as Bowser Jr. was attempting to recover back down to the stage. Mecha Koopa coming around. Samus does manage to jump over it. And she is up at almost 100% here, but doing a really good job at keeping Bowser Jr. at bay here. The get-up attack is going to put Bowser Jr. up over 100%. We have that back throw coming out from Samus. She goes for the up air as she was down below her combatant there. Goes for the forward air, but Bowser Jr. had ledge invincibility. And that back throw again going to come out for Samus. She doesn't get anything from it this time around and is too late to try throwing out a down air to pick up the spike kill there. Bowser Jr. just about had a really nice option with the clown cart, but it was a little premature as Samus still had her ledge invincibility when the cart detonated there. We've seen them running back around. That forward throw at that high of a percent is going to be more than enough. Bowser Jr. really struggling in this matchup here against Samus, and I think that we all saw this day coming, that Bowser Jr. was going to meet a combatant that was going to cause him some trouble. Bowser Jr. getting caught up in that forward air from Samus there. Again, responds with the forward air of his own. It's just not strong enough to pick up that kill. The Mecha Koopa puts Samus up at max rage, and she is going to make it back to that left-hand ledge. Now up at 160%, Bowser Jr. jumping into that charge shot. Not the wisest decision he's made. Finally picks up a kill by hitting that sweet spot off of the back air, but he is in trouble as we see the JV3 come out as Samus lands that back air. Bowser Jr. is going to take a tour over to our loser's side, but we will see him again. His tournament run is not over just yet. Samus will progress into our top 8 on our winner's side of this bracket. She will have to face off against Robin next time we see her, which is definitely not a position you want to be in. But she's a tough combatant, and she should be able to hold her own there, or at least give Robin a rallying fight. We've got 2 more matches to get to, and our next matchup is going to be between our number 4 seed and our number 13 seed. So let's head over to that matchup right now. Next up in our progression of matches here, we have a combatant that honestly I've slept on a lot, and that is number 4 seed Olimar. And we have Byleth here, which I don't know that I anticipated them doing as well as they have up until this point. Seed number 13 is a really good placement in this tournament as a whole, and that Amir does not end up landing, but it does create a very scary situation to be around, especially if you are Olimar. He's doing a really good job thus far of holding his own. He is a lot smaller, so you can have some benefit from getting around that. Byleth manages to get rid of the poison Pikmin there. A red Pikmin up smash is going to deal some damage. The additional damage coming out from the yellow Pikmin there before returning to Olimar. And we've really got a lot of back and forth with these two combatants. Now, Byleth has a lot of disjoints, and we see one of those come out here with the side B, with that Aaronfar coming out that way. That is a really unfortunate way for Olimar to lose that first stock, but we can see him pick up a kill with that purple Pikmin right there on that ledge, getting the retaliation off of the restock. Olimar really trying to extend that percent onto his opponent if he can. Gets the neutral air coming up there. We've got the blue Pikmin onto Byleth that's causing a lot of damage for him. We finally have a throw into a forward air. We have two purple Pikmin on lock here for Olimar. That's a very scary situation to be up against if you are Byleth, because those purple Pikmin, they hit very hard. However, that forward smash is going to pick up this stock again. Pikmin are reset back to the default arrangement. And Byleth is having a little bit of trouble as those Pikmin keep latching onto them. Red Pikmin goes down. We've got the neutral air coming out from Byleth. He's done a very good job of retaliating with that against his opponent here in this matchup thus far. Side B comes out, and it does clean out a couple of Olimar's Pikmin options. I just don't think that Olimar has really had to face off against an opponent that has those long-reaching hitboxes like Byleth does. He's got a full stock lead at this point in time, though both combatants are going to make it back to that left-hand ledge. It's going to be really interesting to see if Byleth can continue to keep up this pressure over the course of the set, or if Olimar is going to find an answer. Olimar down low. He has heavy Pikmin there. He does manage to make it back to that ledge, and he gets rid of his yellow Pikmin as it sends its way back there to stage, but Byleth is going to take a decisive 2-0 victory, or 2-stock victory, over Olimar here in the first game, and we will have to see if Olimar can find an answer going into Game 2. Olimar needed some more consistency, and so he has opted to counterpick over to Battlefield, but he still has his work cut out for him against this Byleth, and we are seeing just that as Byleth gets a lot of damage onto his opponent right off the start of this fight. Blue Pikmin ends up getting connected for a lot of auxiliary damage against his opponent here, and Byleth really doing a good job at sending out that neutral air, and we have the Amir down air spike as Olimar goes to connect back on that ledge. Not a good position for Olimar to be in at all, and our number 4 seed might be in some trouble. We have that fail knot coming out here, and it does not connect with Olimar, but it does take out one of his Pikmin, which is really not a good position for Olimar to be in, especially with as aggressive as Byleth is being. He gets the Amir to connect, however, it is into the shield, which Olimar is able to parry, getting a parry on that forward air as well. And that fire Pikmin is going to get a little bit more damage onto his opponent, and we've just got one purple Pikmin on availability here. It does connect into Byleth, but it's not nearly enough to pick up a kill at this point in time. The throw there from Byleth sends Olimar over to the right-hand side, and the Aaronfar is really going to cause some problems for Olimar there, as he loses a second stock in this matchup. Oh boy, we're really seeing Olimar be put to the test in this matchup against Byleth. does roll out of that rapid jab, which is better for him, but we very well might see a very real problem progressing here, and we have seen some issues that Olimar hasn't really had an answer to up until this point. Up smash not going to connect. If he does get a smash attack onto Byleth at this stage, he will actually end up taking that stock. Byleth at about 170% here. Any strong connecting hit from his opponent will end that stock, but I think it's curtains for Olimar at this point in time. We'd have to see an absolutely masterful run back, and we're just not seeing evidence of that as Byleth continues to create pressure with those up airs that linger for a really long amount of time. And that up smash, or that up tilt, is really all it was. Ends up taking that last stock off of Olimar. A very decisive 3-stock coming out from Byleth, and we will eagerly watch how Byleth progresses through the remainder of this tournament. Olimar's not gone forever, he's just down to the loser side of this tournament, so he will be back in a couple of weeks. But for now, let's move on to our last matchup of the day, which is between two more of our higher profile combatants. This is bound to be one of the highest profile fights of the day thus far. We have our number 5 seed Ridley against our number 12 seed Lucas, and both of these combatants have done very, very well. Now, Ridley has been known for rushing down his opponents and causing a lot of problems for them, but I don't think he's had to deal with a combatant like Lucas up until this point. So it's really going to be interesting to see if he can continue to be a menace against his opponents there. Ridley doing a really good job at creating some space away from Lucas, preventing him from getting back to the ledge. Ridley is going to make it back to the ledge, and that side B is going to pick up that kill. So Ridley's still doing a pretty good job at getting around the odd punishing options that Lucas has in his kit. Lucas missing the up smash that could have been the stock for Ridley if he had landed it. Forward air coming out from Ridley, and Lucas really trying to create a lot of pressure against his opponent, not having a whole lot of success with it as of yet. But he does get the jab into forward smash. Lucas is going to finally pick up that kill, or what should have been a kill with Ridley up at that high of a percent, but he ends up surviving off of it, and Lucas doesn't get the down air spike that he was hoping for. Neutral air coming out. Ridley up at 210. Absolutely disgusting percent. That up throw is finally going to take that stock off of Ridley, but he is not done as he comes swinging back off of the restock with that side B, and causing a lot of problems for Lucas here. We've got the back throw for Ridley. That's going to cause some problems. He's got to be careful with his neutral B because he can end up healing Lucas if he ends up using his PSI magnet. Ridley making it back to ledge, Lucas opting for just above it. Ridley punishes that with a neutral air that has a wide sweeping arc and can really cause problems for anyone that gets caught up in it. Forward air coming out from Ridley. If he gets another connecting hit like that, it's going to be the end for Lucas's second stock here. That side B is going to do it. There's no way you're mashing out of that at over 130%. Down smash from Lucas could have been a really tough position for Ridley, but he does end up shielding it and getting away from it. Lucas looking like he's really struggling here on this final destination stage, and he does make it back to the ledge. I think he learned his lesson against going above that ledge from Ridley, as he has some punishing options for it. Ridley answering with an up air off the ledge that time around to kind of mix things up. He gets the down air spike on stage. We don't really see Ridley getting a lot of use of that down air, opting for the up smash, or the up B above stage to get away from Lucas's up smash. And the forward smash from Lucas there, connecting, not enough to kill. Dash attack coming out from Ridley. He's really trying to end out this stock if he can. If he gets Lucas in another one of those side Bs, he might be able to take that. He opts for the up B down into the stage, which doesn't connect for him. But he has been looking for that as a killing option, as it does hit incredibly hard if he manages to land it. 2 neutral airs coming out from Lucas. That's going to get some additional percent onto his opponent. PK Fire coming out. Ridley's going to make it back to stage. He gets the neutral air. That's going to send Lucas way too far away. And he gets the disrespectful forward air to finish that off. Ridley with a 2-stock victory here over Lucas in this first game of this set. Lucas needs to play a lot more aggressively as well as a lot safer, keeping that distance if he wants to force a game 3 situation here going into the second game of the set. Lucas counterpicking to Yoshi's story. We see this as a very common stage 2, or we have seen this as a very common stage 2 in many a set throughout this tournament, but Ridley looks like he is going to keep that pressure up. He's landed up airs, up smashes, and really doing an excellent job at keeping his opponent at bay, though if he continues to use those neutral B flame orbs, he could end up healing his adversary upon him deciding to use a PSI magnet there. He ends up dash attacking into the invincibility frames of Lucas's up smash, so that's not exactly a position you want to find yourself in, but that forward air really causing some problems, and Ridley going to take that first stock with his side B. That's a very well-known kill option for him, and he has used it a lot because of how reliable it is. He goes forward again, doesn't end up connecting this time around, and Lucas is at way too low of a percent for that to pick up a second kill that early on, but he does like it because of the damage that it is capable of dealing to his opponents. Lucas getting a couple of his aerials to connect here. Ridley is able to parry that up smash, which is good because at that high of a position on that platform, it may have been that stock for him if he ended up getting hit by it. Ridley missing that side B again. Lucas is a lot floatier than I think a lot of the opponents that Ridley has had to face off against up until this point. But we see the forward throw coming out there from Ridley causing some problems for Lucas as he got caught on the outside last game. The back air coming out not going to be enough, probably because it wasn't a sweet spot, but the down smash is going to connect, and Ridley again up 2 stocks here in this match. Does get too close to Lucas off of his restock and gets caught up by that very powerful up smash, so we are going to see Lucas take at least 1 stock here in this match, and he's looking to extend that if he can. Lucas far away on that left-hand side does safely make it back to that ledge, and the series of tilts and aerials coming out from Ridley here on this left-hand platform are really problematic for Lucas. Neutral air is going to send him off to the left, but he's still got his jump there. And Ridley is going to make it back to that stage. We weren't really ever concerned about that with him. Lucas gets the PK fire upon retreating back to the stage. Goes for the PSI magnet, but Ridley is able to get his shield up in time, and that dash attack is going to clamp jaws closed on Lucas. Lucas is going to visit the loser side of this tournament, and he'll have to try and avenge his fallen brother or fallen friend, Ness. Really an unfortunate showing for Lucas, but Ridley will progress on in the winner's side of this tournament. We'll be back next week to get part 2 of Top 16, but for now, that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for that daily variety content, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.